Welcome everyone to Devotion to Promotion. In this episode, we're going to go from unemployed to employed. We have 3 job offers on the table to start out our first season. East Thurrock, Ashton United, or Nuneaton Town. Collected some opinions out on the internet and in the comments from a previous video, and it's time to pick. Stick around to see which team we go with. Given this a lot of thought, and I've considered the opinions of a lot of people. We have 3 offers, some similar, but quite a bit different. Quickly, however, though, I realized that East Thurrock's offer was just not quite to the same degree as either Ashton United or Nuneaton Town. East Thurrock, the salary wage, the weekly wage was low. We only have a couple of £1,000 per week to work with. We basically had no team. And while I'm up for a challenge, I tried this twice in FM19, and I only succeeded once. I got relegated twice and failed. So my odds aren't all that good. So I figure I kind of need as much help as I can get. So with that in mind, I said, I'm not sure that the whole East Thurrock's going to be a good choice. And it wasn't popular at all in terms of people's opinions. People's opinions seem to go with Ashton United, sometimes for the Sid Sykes stand out there, which is really cool with the flags on it and things like that, or Nuneaton Borough because their offer looked pretty good. So with that in mind, East Thurrock is out, and we have to decide between Nuneaton Town and Ashton United. Now, I spent most of the day thinking that, I should go with Nuneaton Town, but here's the problem. Their offer is just a little bit better, right? They got a weekly budget of $9,000 per week, whereas Ashton United's about $7,000. And Ashton United has most of that $7,000 taken up in existing contracts, so there's really only about $2,000 worth of wiggle room. Whereas Nuneaton Town has about a little bit over $4,000 in wiggle room. Their stadium's better, so it just looked like this is like Nuneaton Town's got the best offer there. But here's the part that I was getting stuck on: their logo. And so I dug in, I got an enlarged version of their logo, and I was kind of looking at it. And if we look in that top right corner, here's the problem. It is a bear. And we kind of figured out a little bit about where this came from. And thanks a little bit to Parkera Games, who made a post there. The bear actually, if you look at it, the bear is chained and muzzled. And I'm just thinking, I don't feel that we could manage a team it's a poster for cruelty to animals. I was thinking that's going to be really hard. I'd feel bad, and I have to look at the logo every time we start playing with the team. So even though the offer was slightly better, by about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I was starting to lean away from this. But a post that Parkera Games put up, by the way, who has his own YouTube Let's Play series, and I believe based on kind of a teaser that he's got up there, he's going to do a Let's Play with FM20 on Chorley, down in the lower leagues too. So I'll put a link there. You can go check out his station, and he's got some cool stuff going on too. So thanks to him, because it was actually his post, his link that he put up that had more information on what was the background for the Nuneaton Borough logo, which is actually kind of cool. The blue waves there represent 2 rivers that go through the county. The 3 black diamonds represent the big mines that were in the county. That was kind of the heart of their industrial growth and things like that. But the key thing that became apparent in reading the stuff that he put up was that in 2007, Nuneaton Borough was restructured. And when they restructured it, they redid the logo. And when they redid the logo, they unchained the bear. There you go. So the logo that's in the game here is too old. And there's an updated logo that has our gold Pokemon bear unchained. And now I'm guilt-free. So with that in mind, finally, that was the deciding factor. I'm going to go Ashton United or Nuneaton Town. Once I knew we could unchain the bear, the answer became apparent. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going with Nuneaton Town. And I'll pause it for a second quick. I'm going to just kind of set up. We're going to go in. We're going to accept the offer, and then we're going to take a look at the team. I am so excited to get started. Let's dig in. So, with the logos out of the way, we look for the last time for hopefully quite a while at my unemployed face here, and let's dig into the inbox. I've got the offer from Nuneaton Town all queued up, and fingers crossed we can negotiate this correctly, because I've screwed these things up before. I mean, we don't want to just take the 800 if we can help it, but honestly, I need a job, so 800 is really fine. I want this job. I don't want to screw up the negotiations and end up at Ashton United when this is our first choice. So again, kind of just taking a look at the demands here. We got to work within the wage budget. That shouldn't be a problem given the wiggle room we've got. We only have to fight bravely against relegation. That's just like try. I mean, here's a big pile of money and just try. We don't care if you succeed. I mean, that's pretty good. Low expectations are really, really nice. And then some trophy, some cup play here where we have to reach the third qualifying round. I don't know. It should be okay. I think we just have to win one game maybe to do that. And then this looks like kind of hopeful where we reach the first round of the FA Trophy Cup. And I don't know how many we'd have to win to get that far. But other than that, it looks like their expectations over the next 4 years are basically continue remaining in the National League North. So really modest expectations here. We've got some transfer funds to work with. Looking pretty good. So let us dig in and start the negotiations here. This is my first time to do this in Football Manager 2020. So let's see how this looks here. Oh, kind of a complete new screen here. I wouldn't be to put it past me to completely screw this up here. So transfer date is immediate, July 11th. It will go for 12 months. That's fine. And all of these expectations we really can't do anything about, it looks like. So we just have to finalize the deal, but we're going to ask for a little bit more money here. Think I can get $825 out of them? I'm not going to ask for that. Let's ask for 8. Let's ask for 9. They're going to come back with 8. Let's see what happens here. We're very close to a deal. Oh, they're still at 8. Okay, let's try 850. Let's try 825. Yes, extra 25 pounds per month. That'll pay for a meal. And we're going to finalize the deal. Here we go. With one click, we will be the managers of Nuneaton Town. There we go. We'll complete the paperwork and finalize the deal in the near future. Exit talks. And we just go forward here. Does this happen right away? Oh, nice. There it is. We've got the little flashing GIF here with Nuneaton. Welcome to Nuneaton, Zilla Blitz. Hashtag NBFC. Nuneaton have today confirmed the appointment of Zilla Blitz as the club's new manager. Eyebrows have been raised. And I do want to remind you that the fans of this club, when I expressed some interest in the job, they laughed at my interest. So we're off to a really good start here. Already the fans don't think I'm fit for the job. What does it say? Eyebrows have been raised in the world of football at the appointment of the 20-year-old who has recently spent time away from club football. I've never been in club football at all. And he sure is to face plenty of questions when he faces the media for the first time at Liberty Way. He replaces previous manager Jimmy Ginelli. Blitz rejected the offers from Ashton United and East Thurrock United. Meanwhile, Richard Lavery, Scott Parsons, and Lee Walkinshaw have exited the club as part of Blitz's changes. Yes, they did give us a little bit of wiggle room here to kind of change some of the staff, and we had some pretty weak coaches there. So I'm hopeful. Usually it's possible to get a couple of better coaches in at the beginning of the year. I'm hopeful it still works in this version of the game. But we are ready to start. Reputation, a lot of this background stuff. I'm going to take a few minutes now. I'm going to stop the video, and we're going to come back, and I'm going to kind of putz around. Then we're going to do a little bit of an overview of the team. And then that will be the last episode before we come back. I'll come back at the end of the summer and we're going to play our first game. So hang tight for a second here. Okay, so we've accepted the job officially, and I've dug in now a little bit and poked around a little bit under the hood. And there's a few things to share. I'd like to take a couple quick look at some players. We'll take a look at our staff, and then we'll wrap this episode up. So I just want to share a few things, kind of what's the state of the nation. We've got exactly 20 days before the season starts. So not a lot of time to work with. And with attribute masking on, we are really going to have a work cut out for us to kind of identify what players to bring in here. So here's our staff. And I'm not sure how well you can see it. We actually, there's only me. So I thought I had some other staff members that we were keeping, but maybe they heard I was coming in as manager and they just all ran away because there's nobody here. We have no physio. We have no scouts, zero scouts, no assistant manager. And I think I left our assistant manager in place. So for whatever reason, they all just scrambled. No coaches, no head of youth development. So, and that means that even if we go in and try to see the team report here, we can't because we need an assistant manager. So first step, we need staff. I can go in individually here and look at some of the squad. And even though I can't see the ability and potential here, we can if we look at the cards. And I've sorted them by value. And I think we have 6 players that actually, of these 12, 13 players here or so, that we can use. So we've got work cut out, but we've got, I'd say, half of at least some players we can put out there who might be okay. If we take a quick look, we have some pretty decent defenders here. We have 2 outside backs. This guy, James Clifton, looks like he's going to be pretty decent as a right back, at least functional for right now. So not an emergency that we need a right back. Pretty decent numbers for this level. Positioning's a little bit of a mark. Concentration, might have trouble focusing and things like that. But pace, marking, passing, tackling, crossing's pretty good for this level. And in FM19, the previous version, I couldn't find outside backs that would cross down at this level. So that's nice. And the mental's not, outside of concentration again, not too bad. He does have the dreaded doesn't enjoy big matches, which a lot of our players seem to have. But on the pro side, he says good player for most National League North sides. So looks like a functional right back for right now. This current ability, 4.5 stars, and potential ability, 4.5 stars, I think is misleading because my understanding is that it's relative. It's relative both to the league and then it's also relative both to your team. So as we bring in more and better players, relatively speaking, he's not going to be one of our better players within the realm of the whole team. So that's very overstated right now because we have so few players on the team and so few players that are any good here. So at the other side, Rice Sharp also gets a little mark here as a decent player for most National League North sides. If we look at him as a fullback on defensive roles, marking's not bad, passing's not bad, crossing not too bad for this level. Physicals, they're okay. Some pace. Mental's okay. I mean, kind of functional. Not too many red flag numbers there. So I think we can put him out at left back for a while. And, we should be perhaps steady out there. In the middle, Joe Kettle here looks actually pretty good. I mean, if we look at as a center back, if we look at his numbers, he's got 12 for heading, 11 for marking, 12 for tacking, 10 for positioning, jumping reach of 10th, a 10 of strength of 11. He comes up here as being a good player for most National League North sides. So, and all the mentals look pretty good here. So, pretty decent. Determination, work rate's not bad. So it looks like he could actually, of all the players I looked at, it looked like we may still see Joel Kettle at the end of the season here. And current stats are the only kind of question mark I have because last year, playing at a league lower, he only had a 6.64 rating, that's not very good in 34 appearances, but I'm not quite sure how much we should rely on those statistics from the league below in evaluating a player. They always seem to be low to me rather than what they could be at, or at least maybe even not important based on what happens because the league just isn't in the game, perhaps. So defensively, looks like we need another center back. Our goalkeeper's nothing to write home. We need a goalkeeper and another center back, at least before our first match. In midfield, Jack Byrne here looks like a decent defensive midfielder. Again, gets that good player for most National League North sides. If we highlight his attributes here as a defensive midfielder, midfielder roles, here we go. Defensive midfielder, say defend, except for marking. His passing is 12, his tackling is 7. Marking's kind of a 5, and concentration 4, decision 6. I mean, some shaky things there. Stamina and strength are good. Those red ones make me a little nervous, but he might be okay. He's getting kind of up there, 30 years old, so his play might deteriorate a little rate over the year here. He does again dread playing in big matches. I don't know how this team got promoted. A lot of players just don't like big matches, but again, he gets rated as a good player for most National League North side. So I mean, certainly we can start the year with him, and he's gonna be functional out there at least. And then on the more attacking end of the ball, we have Devin Kelly Evans, who comes out as our highest valued player, gets rated as a decent player for most National League North sides, and he is an attacking central midfielder. So if we look at him as a midfielder, attacking midfielder, even on support, pretty good. Dribbling a 9, composure 6, technique a 10, so shooting might be okay except for that composure rating. First touch 10. I mean, some decent numbers in here. Physicals. Balance a 3 and a strength of 4. It makes me think like if it's a windy day, this guy's going to fall over. I mean, those are kind of discouraging numbers there for kind of getting bumped around at all. But, other than that, again, someone we can probably stick out there and get something out of. And then lastly, we have what looks like Luke Benbow. Looks like he's a pretty decent striker. I mean, nothing exceptional, but not too many red numbers. I mean, if we put him, I'm not sure quite, I can't see what his role and duty is until we kind of get scouts in here, but as an advanced forward attack, finishing a 10, composure a 9, technique of 11. So no red flag numbers, nothing outstanding, but for down at this level, that could be pretty functional. Off the ball 12, so he should get opening first touch 11, dribbling 9, physical's okay, mental's okay. I mean, this, might be okay. Passing's not bad. Work rate 8, that's okay. And again, he comes up as a good player for most National League North sides. The red flag here is that he apparently is fairly susceptible to injuries. So that's a problem. But again, if we run back here and we look at these 6 players who have respectable amounts of value, we might have 4 or 5 of them that could play for us for quite a bit this year, I'm thinking. So defensive back, we need a center back, we need a couple more midfielders, need another striker, we need some outside wings and something, but looking kind of maybe like a 4-2-3-1 type of formation, not quite sure. So we have our work cut out for us. The other thing that I did, I went and the squad does have money, and I went and asked the board to start my coaching license work, and they said, yep, we'd love to do that, but not now. So can't start school yet, so we still are an unlicensed manager and have no badges, no coaching badges, and for that, so we'll have to wait a little while on that. And so coming up, we'll stop here. This will be our next match. Our next episode will be our first match. It'll be season 1, episode 1. We will advance 3 weeks here. I'm going to try to get in a staff, try to get in some more players, try to fill out the holes in our lineup. I'm going to change out, and thank you to Eduardo Oliveira, I believe his name is, who mentioned out that it's not called a crest or a logo, it's a badge. And so we're going to switch out the badge to the updated version that has the freed up bear. So we're going to get rid of the chained bear for our upcoming episode, get a staff in here, get some players, and we should be ready to start the season. I'm super excited to get going on this. So I will see you in our next episode, which will come up on Monday at 9 Central Standard Time or 3 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. Thanks again for stopping by. If you're having fun watching, and by all means, the subscriptions and the thumbs up and the notification bell things do help get the videos in front of other people so that they can see it. And it is super motivating when we get that kind of feedback. So thanks again for the comments, for coming by and watching. I hope you've enjoyed the episode. Have a great day, and let us know what you're doing with Football Manager 2020. I'm really liking what I'm seeing so far. The kind of the club vision thing looks pretty cool. I'm excited about it. I'm really excited for this long-term save, and let's go Nuneaton Borough.